Alright, so what's up everybody? Blood Moon Bobby here. Let me just raise the volume here. Yeah, so I know it's been a couple weeks since my last stream. Yeah, just life kind of getting in the way. But anyway, here I am finally playing the final wave of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. It's kind of funny how like some people are treating this like it's the end of Mario Kart, or specifically Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, I guess I kind of get that, and that it's the final wave of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe courses, and more than likely, the next time there's any development to Mario Kart, it's gonna come through a new Mario Kart game, especially with all the rumors of future Nintendo Switch, or Nintendo Switch successor, I should say. But that's a conversation for another day. Let's get into the courses. So, and hey, if you have any recommendations for me, just let me know in the chat. I'll play with some of the new characters today, so let's go with Diddy Kong. So yeah, it's been nice how up until Thanksgiving I was getting back into doing videos, and then to take a bit of a break with things going on in my personal life. But yeah, here I am again playing the new Mario Kart courses. So let's start off with the Acorn Cup. I mean, mind you, this is far from the last Mario Kart stream I'll ever do. It's one of my favorite franchises to play on Twitch, or really anywhere. I mean, started playing Mario Kart when I was in 3rd grade of elementary school, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon, especially since I enjoy playing racing games. And even outside of video games, as you likely know, cars is one of my really big hobbies. Like, I've been trying to get a Subaru BRZ for the last year. It's kind of funny how, like, rumors are, like, something that, of course, affect every industry. You hear about rumors. Oh, wow, I didn't know I could do that to get rid of the blue shell. But yeah, just think about how there are all these rumors about what the Nintendo Switch successor will be like, and in the car world, there's all these kinds of rumors about what's going to happen to... I mentioned a car called the Subaru BRZ, which has a sort of sibling in the form of the Toyota GR86, and there's all these rumors about, what the engine in the next GR86 will be, but I'll save that for... Those are rumors that you could look up, since this isn't a car channel. I don't want to go too far into them in case I'm putting you to sleep. Holy cow, oh my god. Even all, like, the players that are coming behind you, some of them, because of all the wacky ways the course goes, you might bump into them, so holy crap. But yeah, I mean... Probably one of my favorite things about this whole Booster Course Pass is getting to play these Mario Kart Tour courses, because I really don't want to try the Mario Kart Tour game they come from, because I heard there's a lot of, like, microtransactions, and I'm not all about that stuff. If there's ever, like, a game and I hear there's microtransactions, I'm just like, thanks but no thanks. I don't even touch them. But if it's, I don't know... Alright, so yeah, that was fun driving around Rome. And hey, if you celebrated Thanksgiving recently, let me know what were your plans for the holiday. Okay, next course. he came out in. Never played this course in Mario Kart. I think it was Double Dash, the one for the GameCube. But I did actually play this quite a few times so that I could get some gameplay footage for today's stream. And I had a pretty good time with this one. Certainly one of the courses that caught my eye when I saw the trailer for this final DLC. But, yeah, I mean, I've talked quite a bit about, you know, at least me being interested in a Nintendo Switch successor. I know one of my friends who I've done, like, Nintendo Direct discussions really wants Nintendo to come out with a successor to the Switch. I mean, what I'm just hoping is, I imagine the Switch successor, it'll be, I hope it's a hybrid console like the Switch currently is, just, you know, with more horsepower. There's all these kind of rumors that, you know, oh, maybe it'll have like DLSS. I think I heard some rumor that, you know, it might have like ray tracing and all this high-tech stuff. So, you know, regardless, I just hope whatever this new system is, I hope it comes out next year, especially now that you know, 2024, it'll be the Switch's 7th year. And things have changed in the video game industry. Like, it's no longer a case where on average a new console will come out like 5 years after its predecessor. But I'm always, you know, up for new Nintendo hardware. You know, will it have things like an OLED screen like the Switch OLED that I'm playing on? Who knows? I mean, it would be a nice addition. I like how on the Switch OLED the bezels are slimmer and the colors on the screen are much more vibrant. Whoop. Speaking of Diddy Kong, haven't really played much of Diddy Kong Racing. In case you didn't know, Diddy Kong has his own racing series. Nintendo hasn't made... I don't think they've made a sequel to Diddy Kong Racing since, like, the Nintendo DS days. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. But I remember one time I went to my uncle's place, and I didn't know he played video games. I know that my cousins were the ones who got me into playing Nintendo games. But one time I went there and he was playing Diddy Kong Racing for the Nintendo 64, so that might actually be a nice addition, because in the years since, I've actually gotten a Nintendo 64, did some of my own retro console collecting. So yeah, that could definitely be a game, because I don't think it's on Nintendo Switch Online. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it'll be nice to try. I never got a chance to play. I think I might have played it, like, very, very briefly when I was over at his place, but I don't remember playing it for, like, an extensive period of time. Yeah. My first time playing this course, so I might get a little lost. I don't know why I'm bumping the microphone so much today. Huh, I didn't realize they also made a statue for Baby Luigi and Baby Daisy. Wow. Maybe next round I should try playing 150cc. Challenge myself a bit, I guess. Wait, but in the next cup, there's going to be a Rainbow Road from Mario Kart Wii, which I'll just kind of spoil the surprise. I've actually gotten a lot better at playing that course. Maybe I just needed a lot more practice, because I remember when I would play Mario Kart Wii, I would fall off like Rainbow Road at least once every time I tried to play it. But I guess through practice, I got better, so not exactly. I don't know, it's not exactly as scary as it used to be for me, I guess. Piranha Plant Cove. Is that you, Robbie? Hold on a second. But yeah, I see your message in the chat. You also misspelled my name there. But yeah, it's so nice to see you. How are you? Have you played this DLC? Actually, since I have a minute, I can, yeah. Hit with a red shell there. Never actually played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Do you have a Nintendo Switch? Only played 8 on the Wii U, I see. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to me now that I think the Switch has become at least Nintendo's most successful home console. I don't know about portables, but definitely home console. And I have a feeling the Switch might go down in history for not having its own Mario Kart game, because, you know, as you could imagine, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was a port, but it's still good that the Switch gave it a new life. It gave it the chance for the game to really sell much more successfully, and, you know, and have this whole DLC come out. But yeah, if you get a chance to play the courses from the Booster Course Pass, Robbie, I'd highly recommend it. Oh, no, I'm gonna get eaten. Super Smash Brothers a year and a half ago. Did you get, was that Ultimate? Instead of Mario Kart, I see. Yeah, that's awesome. think it would be cool to do another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate stream someday. Great. Now, who's ahead of me? That's one of Bowser's children. And I still won the race, so that's awesome. Wow, we even beat Donkey Kong. Wonder if they'd give Diddy Kong a bigger role if they make a Mario movie sequel, which I have heard Nintendo is they're making a Zelda movie with Sony Pictures. And when I first heard the announcement, I was like, oh my god, Nintendo and Sony working together. But it's like, but at the same time, I do like, you know, a lot of Sony Pictures movies. I mean, I saw the two Spider-Verse movies, had a really good time. I wanted Super Smash Bros. Because it has the missions, and I had never played it before. That's awesome. And yeah, Smash was actually the first Nintendo franchise that I got into. Like, my earliest memory of going to my cousin's house and playing video games was they were playing Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube, and that's how essentially I got into playing Nintendo games. Alright, so I think I'm ready for a bit more adventure, so let's do Funky Kong and play the last cup in the Booster Course Pass. Yeah, I apologize. I hope that the game music wasn't too loud in the last cup. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so let's do 150cc in this last cup here. Mine was Wii Party or Sports at a family friend's that my dad bought us a Wii U almost a decade ago, I think, which came with Mario Kart 8, which is awesome. And yeah, I never actually played Wii Party, but I'd like to give it a try. Wii Sports, still to this day, I have very fond memories of. Still one of my favorite games for the original Wii. Alright, so here we are in Madrid, Spain. But yeah, which game from Wii Party do you recommend? Because I honestly know next to nothing about Wii Party other than it existed. The escalators there kind of reminded me of Coconut Mall. It would be really ironic if I just kept running into the piranha plants. Why did I use the weapon there? I've only played Sports Club. I didn't realize till recently that it's not the original. Yeah, because I think Wii Sports Club, that was the game they put out on the Wii U, right? Where you had to pay for each of, to play each of the sports. Yeah, oh, almost head-on collision there. Yeah, I remember the only sport that I purchased in Wii Sports Club was the bowling, since that was my favorite sport to play in the original Wii Sports. Yeah, so I never got golf. Yeah, I mean, in my case, I would play the golf game every once in a while. These days, I usually just stick to Mario Golf, which I feel like has become one of the more underrated Mario spin-offs. Especially, like, if in a situation where you don't have the, you know, space, you know, or room to play, you know, Wii Sports Golf, where you gotta swing the Wiimote, and you just want to, you know, play if I could talk, play something that's more laid back. Yeah, bowling is fun. I like tennis and bowling the most. Yeah, we've had good times with playing tennis and Wii Sports as well. Bowling, it's always been like one of my favorite sports to do. I remember, you know, I would take bowling lessons when I was younger. And even, you know, as I got older, went to high school, I talk about my cross-country days quite a bit in my streams, but I remember when I would go up to Mammoth Lakes, that's in Northern California, there would be a bowling alley, and we would go there on one of the nights that we were in Mammoth. We would go eat dinner and go to a bowling alley and have a lot of fun there. So yeah, good times. Are you looking forward to getting any new games this holiday season, Robbie? And anybody else who is in the stream for that matter? Rosalina's Ice World, which I played again quite a bit to get ready for today, because if you saw my recent video on Instagram and TikTok, you'll have known that I recorded some gameplay footage of me playing Rosalina's Ice World. Yeah, definitely like this course as well. Really well designed. Whoa, watch out for the bomb! Yay. The one time the green shell works in my favor. Watch out for the banana peels. Sweet. It's okay. I don't really have anything in mind for Christmas apart from maybe more driving sim stuff. I see. Any particular driving sims? Me personally, I don't know. I feel like I've already got a lot of the games I have in mind. I don't really have games in mind. It's mostly just kind of things where it's like it would be nice to have, but I don't think I'll be able to get it in time for Christmas. Things like the PS5 Slim, but who knows. So, ooh. Well, I did call for more challenge, so I guess this is what I'm getting, what I asked for. Red shell. Notice that, yeah, but with the Slim, you still need a PS5, right? I mean, I was kind of thinking of just getting the digital edition anyway. But yeah, those Funky Kong screams a lot. Bowser's Cast 3. And try not to get Funky Kong incinerated. So, whoa, almost fell down there. I guess you could play it under the table at Thanksgiving without anybody knowing. A PS5? Just kind of reminds me, when I would go to Thanksgiving dinner at my relatives, this was before the pandemic, I would, you know, we would come over to a cousin's place. Usually they would be playing something like, you know, Smash with their cousins. So it would be like Super Smash Brothers Brawl, and I would just mash buttons until I hopefully won or lost. So yeah. Oh, you meant the, yeah, PlayStation Portal, not PS5 Slim. Yeah, I've been hearing some mixed things about the PlayStation Portal, just in the sense that, you know, it's not meant to be, it's not really a portable PS5, you know, it's more of like a remote play device, so unfortunately I can't get one of those because I don't have a, you know, I don't even have the PS5 home console. But, yeah, the Slim, especially since, you know, it's coming out now, if I were to get one, I would just, yeah, just get the digital edition. But mashing is the best method for games. I mean, for me, I mean, it works just because I don't, you know, I'm not the kind of person that likes to, like, sit around and, like, learn all the moves. You know, like, if I had to play, like, a, like, let's say Super Smash Brothers match, for example, with somebody who's memorized all the moves, I'd probably be in really big trouble. But, yeah, that's just what my sister and I do with, like, any fighting game we play, whether it's Super Smash Brothers, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. We don't really play it to, like, get, you know, good per se. We're just literally mashing buttons and just hope that we win. Alright, and now comes the scary course. You can only play it with PS5 and on the internet for PS Portal. So, yeah, I mean, the big question for me is I'm not really sure, you know, how well my internet could handle a PlayStation Portal. It might be okay if I'm just kind of like, you know, oh, I want to go into another room of the house, but I noticed some reviewers are taking it, like, you know, outdoors to, like, you know, restaurant or cafe or what have you. I'm not sure, well, depending on the Wi-Fi connection, that's the part I'm kind of skeptical about, you know, getting a PlayStation Portal. Especially since it's not like a Switch where it's its own console. I quite like still games like F1 and FPS games. So, yeah, if we were to get a new console, it would likely be the PS5 Slim, the digital edition. Yeah, whereas for me, I do play the occasional FPS game like Doom 2016, Doom Eternal. I guess Metal Gear Solid kind of counts, even though it's a stealth game, not a shooter. But yeah, I haven't really played too many Formula 1 games myself. I've always been more of like an arcade racer. Like, that's why I play a lot more like Mario Kart or Ridge Racer. Yeah, this is the part where I fall off a lot. Let me see. So if your PS5 is at home, do you not need to be on the same internet as the Portal? You'd probably have to watch some, like, reviews to figure it out for yourself. My question is, if you have a Portal, does your PS5 have to be turned on, like, when you leave the house? Or can you turn it on using the Portal itself, like, if you forget? Even then, that's gonna... Yeah, so I kind of get why Sony, or this is probably why Sony won't make, like, their own, like, if they were to make, like, a portable PS5, you know, essentially making their own version of Nintendo Switch, maybe they're concerned that if they made such a product, then people won't purchase the PS5 home console. But still, I think it could be a good way of getting, you know, a PS5 where it's like, okay, you have to sacrifice a bit of a graphics performance, but if your, you know, priority is more playing it on the go as opposed to having the best possible graphics, if I can talk, then I don't know, I could see there being an option, especially since Sony has had a history of making pretty good portable consoles in the past, you know, PSP, PS Vita. Even to this day, I think it's really cool that even though the Vita didn't sell that well, it still has a very vocal community. Switch will always be the best console in my mind. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite Nintendo systems, especially for me as a person that doesn't always feel comfortable. I know it's weird I'm playing on Twitch, but I don't always feel comfortable like playing on the big TV, and I'm kind of worried somebody's going to walk by and say, no, you're playing it wrong. So I like having the option of playing games portably, so that's why the Switch is one of my favorite systems. I play occasionally Valorant or Fortnite with my friends, and then I play driving games solo mainly. I see. Well, I still got about a little under half an hour, so hold on, my internet is hiccuping. Yeah, sorry about that, my internet had a bit of a hiccup, but I hope it's fixed now. So what have we got here? Is this like a credits? Oh, it's a credits for the Booster Course Pass. Are you still living in the same place with all your Olympic plushies? Yes. Looking forward to, in particular, the Paris Olympics next summer. I'm not really sure if it's going to be possible to watch the Gangwon Youth Olympics. Because more my thing is, yeah, so I'm not really sure. But, I mean, it's a credit sequence, but I figured, you know, let all the people that worked hard on this DLC and the game as a whole have their moment of appreciation. But yeah, speaking of Olympic plushies, if I could find a plushie of the Gangwon, the South Korean Youth Olympic mascot Moonshow, I would. Did you get any good deals on Black Friday? The only real thing I purchased on Black Friday was I got these Panasonic wireless earbuds from Amazon, because I feel like Panasonic is really underrated when it comes to headphones. They make like some really good headphones for the price, so that I don't have to pay for, like, you know, the Apple AirPods, because I think they cost too much. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not like on Black Friday. I'm just kind of like, you know, the sort of like chaos intimidates me. I've been a couple times to Black Friday in person before the pandemic. I remember there was this one year my parents tried to take us to Black Friday at this store. You may have heard of it, Toys R Us. But there was like a huge line that was going all the way around the store, so we were just like, nope, forget it, go home. And then there was another year when I went to Thanksgiving dinner at my cousin's place, and then they were like, hey, let's go to Black Friday. And so we went out to this electronics store called Best Buy. And the good thing about that is getting into the store wasn't a big problem, but the lines inside the store were kind of crazy. And then we went to another store, Walmart, and I just remember the one cool thing about going to Walmart that year, I think it might have been Thanksgiving 2017, because that was the year that we got Skyrim for the Switch, and my sister has played that a lot. But I remember the line to go to the checkout to purchase the game was like really longer than usual. So yeah. What did you get? Your mom got Galaxy Buds a few months ago for $100. Now they are, I mean, excuse me, £100. Now they are £35. Yes, we have Toys R Us in the UK. Yeah, Toys R Us, they've been trying to come back. It's kind of been a weird process. They tried setting up these kind of store within a store places at this department store called Macy's, but from what I've seen, I watched like YouTube videos on their attempts to try to sell toys at Macy's, but it doesn't look like it's working that well. So I'm not really sure if they could come back. I mean, I think it would be really cool if Toys R Us could come back. I haven't really been to Toys R Us that many times, despite living... I used to live really close to one. But I think it would be cool if they came back. It would just be a very difficult market to come back to, especially now that they would have to compete with, like, all the other retail stores. I've only ever shopped online. I mean, I do most of my shopping online as well, in terms of, like, getting equipment for the channel, or if I'm purchasing, toy cars like this Subaru here. But that being said, especially as the pandemic has started to ease... Oh, look at the nice thank you message from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I do like when I get my chances to go to, like, shopping malls and all that. If anything, just to, practice my driving, because I'm trying to get much better at driving by myself. So there will be times where I would be like, I would go drive to the local shopping centers so that I could go out to dinner with my friends, like, exactly what I did when I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I would go get cheeseburgers with my friends, and then we would go see the movie. So that was all good fun. I hope to do more of that. I meant for Black Friday when I said online. And that I could understand, especially since if you go to Black Friday in person, I mentioned my personal experiences with going to Black Friday and just being, really crazy. Because in my experiences, luckily I haven't been in experiences where, like, I've seen, like, having to worry about getting trampled, or I've had to watch people fight over, like, a TV or something like that. I think most of my concern with going to Black Friday is really just the lines, because when I would go, luckily I wouldn't have to experience, like, crowds of people, like, stampeding into the store, but I would just have to wait and wait and wait in line to, like, purchase, like a video game I want to get or something like that. It's kind of funny how, like, and usually if it's, like, a purchase, like, if I want to get something like an iPad, I would just purchase it online. Yeah, I really want to start driving, but too young. Yeah, so I know for me, when I started to learn to drive, it was quite a scary experience, because for me, there were a lot of things that I didn't take into account when it comes to learning to drive. Like, even learning, like, getting used to the width of a car, I think, takes practice. It's something that you'll understand when you learn to drive yourself. Yeah, so getting used to that. Making right turns for me is something that I still have a tough time getting used to. But at the same time, because I put so much attention on, like, when I'm focusing so much behind the wheel and making sure I'm a safe driver, in a lot of ways, driving has become a hobby, in the sense that it's one of the few things that really distracts me from, like, like my everyday, sorts of worries. It takes my mind off a crazy work day, or if I'm having a tough day on YouTube, for instance. So yeah, and that's why when my dad came to me with this idea of getting this car, the Subaru BRZ, I believe in the UK, I don't know if Subaru sells this in the UK, but I know that there's a similar version, Toyota. I think it's now called the GR86 in the UK. So yeah, if I could have aspirations like that, I think that's a sign that I am, like, starting to grow as a driver. So it takes a lot of experience, but the benefits I think are absolutely worth it in the sense that you'll be able to drive yourself to whatever places you want to go to. And for me, it's a good excuse to get groceries or, do some shopping or go to the movies and things like that. So I still have about 20 minutes left. So we'll do 150cc this time. We'll play the Acorn Cup again, this time with Mario. Maybe I'll use the D-pad, because I noticed I'm going all over the place. What you choose actually matters in this game. I know. But yeah, I don't want to spend, like a ton of time choosing the card or, whatnot for the sake of the stream. But yeah, I know. That's why I was spending quite a bit of time when it came to choosing my cart and the wheels and all that good stuff. Kept stalling the car. Was it a stick shift car? Little bit of an internet hiccup, but it's all good now. Yeah, I know. I saw that it went down. The bitrate went down, but is it good on your end? Yeah, I mean that's an experience that I would like myself because especially because in the U.S. These days something like 95% or something like that of all cars are automatic transmissions, so I've never had the experience of learning to drive stick myself. Luckily, I do have, there are, people I know that know how to drive stick, including my aunt, so, if I ever get the chance to learn to drive stick, I would definitely be up for the experience. I know that my dad also... he used to drive stick until he started driving automatic cars. But even he said that it took him, when he was first learning to drive stick, it took him like 6 months to get used to it. So I don't know, what it's going to be like for me. It's the kind of thing where I'm only going to know if I try. This might vary, but I've heard for some people the hardest part about learning to drive stick, well, the two difficult things is figuring out, how much you have to sort of loosen your foot off the clutch pedal. And the other part, especially, I live near LA where there's lots of traffic. There's a lot of people who say it's kind of, it's tricky to drive a stick shift, especially when you're in traffic. So is it that there's no gear shifter? In an automatic car, instead of a stick shift, usually there is a shifter, but there are 4, I guess you could call them gears. There's park, reverse, neutral, and drive. There are some automatic cars, like the car I'm considering, the Subaru BRZ, where if you get the automatic, they have what's called paddle shifters, where there are these buttons behind the steering wheel where you push one for downshift, you push the other for upshift. So yeah, yes, you have to ease your foot off the clutch. So that kind of experience, I really hope I can have and get the chance while I still have it. But yeah, most of the automatics, well, actually all the automatics, well, actually, yeah, all of the ones that are in the cars my family has, they all have those 4 gears I mentioned: park, reverse, neutral, and drive. Yes, I use the flappy paddles in F1. Yeah, so really the closest experience I've ever had to driving stick myself is that in the Ridge Racer games, I've learned how to drive manual. So in that game, you actually use the left and right, the shoulder buttons to shift gears. So, at least when it comes to, like, you know, just playing Ridge Racer, and if you don't have one of those fancy steering wheel controllers, if you're just playing with, like, a regular controller, using the shoulder buttons to shift are kind of closer to the paddle shifters. Do you need a clutch button on, what, a real-life car or a video game? Because I know with a stick shift car, you have to use a clutch pedal. If it's one of those automatics with the paddle shifters, you don't need the clutch. You just have to push the buttons. I have a Logitech wheel. That's cool. The video game I was talking about. No. So in Ridge Racer, to shift, all I have to do is just push, you know, the L and R buttons. If I remember correctly, I think the L button is for downshift, the R button is for upshift. Yeah, that sounds about right. Wouldn't it be kind of cool to try something like a Gran Turismo using one of those steering wheel controllers? Banana Peel, catch up to Bowser. And Peach, oh my god. I like Forza with my wheel, but in a manual car, you can use flappy paddles, and you still need a clutch, even in a flappy paddles car. I see. Oh wait, is flappy paddles like the UK term for paddle shifters? Have to play catch up. I'm not really sure about that, if the term for a flappy paddles car is sequential. I just know, like, you know, in the States, people just call a car with an, you know, if it's one of those automatic cars with paddle shifters, they just call it a car, automatic car with paddle shifters. There isn't, as far as I know, I haven't heard, like, a very specific term. Yeah. But if I did get the chance to use, like, you know, paddle shifters or flappy paddles in an automatic car, I feel like that could be, like, a sort of good, I mean, and I don't mean this in, like, a negative way, like a sort of compromise, because on the one hand, if I'm driving, then I get to use the paddle shifters or flappy paddles, but if a family member who doesn't know how to use manual wants to use it, then they could just drive it as a regular automatic transmission. Yeah, because now there are actually, you know, some cars where they don't have a stick shift. They instead use the automatic with paddles. So I'm thinking of cars like the Nissan GTR or the Acura/Honda NSX. At least the newer one. I know on the NSX, when it first came to the States, it was available for either a stick shift or an automatic, but in the one with the hybrid powertrain, I think that one, at least in the States, it was only sold as an automatic with paddle shifters, flappy paddles. Well, I mean, I did ask for more challenge, so I guess that's what I got. I think it's sequential because the gearbox type, I see. Next. So, yeah, hopefully I'll get the experience to drive a car, at least with the paddles. That just seems insane to me, as lots of cars in the UK are manual, and every car my family owned is manual. And yeah, I see what you mean. Whereas in the US, nearly everybody drives a automatic. But I heard recently there has been a very slight uptick in people that are learning to drive stick shift. There are some cars where you could only buy it as a stick shift, like the Honda Civic Si. In the US, it's only sold as a stick shift car. But yeah, one of the YouTubers I watched recently said that in the US there has been a very slight, like, rise in, or increase, I should say, in people driving stick shift cars. And some, you know, argue, oh, for younger drivers, it's safer to learn stick shift because you have to use both of your hands. Whereas if you're using an automatic, you know, once you put it in drive and get going, you know, you don't have to worry as much unless you have to make turns. But with a stick shift car, you know, you have to have, like, you know, both hands on the steering wheel, but then you have to move one of your hands to shift gears, right? I think you have to pass a different test in the UK, depending on if you're driving automatic or manual. I think in the US, I don't know about, like, other states, but from what I've seen, and, you know, I would highly recommend looking up the information yourself. But from what I can tell when it comes to learning to drive stick, I think as long as you've passed your regular driving test, both your behind the wheel test and the written test that they give you, then you're allowed to drive. When it comes to stick shift, it's more a matter of you just have to find somebody that could teach you how to drive stick. And, you know, funny enough, I've even seen, like, news reports where if there's, like, somebody's trying to steal a car and it has a stick shift, and, like, the car thief doesn't know how to drive stick, they can't steal the car. So that's why you'll hear sometimes car enthusiasts in the States will say something like, the manual is the best anti-theft protection in the US, because there's a lot of people who don't know how to drive stick. Yeah, I think if you did an automatic test, then you can't drive a manual. And yeah, that I could understand, because for me, me, from what I can tell, driving a manual is quite a different experience. But still, something I would like to give a try myself. Alright, so it's been fun getting the experience to play the Final Cup for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. I haven't decided on a game for next week. I might just do the coin toss to decide what I'm going to play. But it's been a lot of fun getting to play Mario Kart again. Been really nice to get back on Twitch. So thank you to those who have watched the stream and stopped by. Yeah, I hope I can play this game again. I probably will, but yeah, next week I think I'll do a coin toss to decide what I want to play. So if you want to participate in the poll where I pick the game for next week, please follow me on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. So follow me there, and I'll post a poll probably, let's say, Thursday, asking people, hey, what should I play? So be on the lookout for that poll. Until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and if you enjoyed the stream, please follow me on Twitch. So until next time, I'll see you all later.